Hello, everybody. Where are my tokens? 1 second. One second. Okay. Can you see me and hear me? Good morning or afternoon. Can you see me and hear me? Thank you, love. Thank you to my mods for being in here. All right. Sorry this is a little last minute. I had some time. Probably going to stay on about an hour. Am I lagging? Somebody let me know if I'm lagging. I look like I'm lagging. Thank you. I am a little bit. Can't see me? So I'm using my phone as the camera. I'm wondering if that's why. All right, let's try it. And if I'm lagging bad, somebody let me know. All right, let me go up a little bit. I'm going to do short answers. Should I continue to be friends with the guy from the hotel? I feel like don't put too much into it. Let it unfold naturally. I don't see an issue, but I wouldn't put too much weight on it yet. My husband ended up in the emergency room over the weekend. They ran tests which point to prostate. Seeing more doctors this week. Can you see anything around him? A solution that throws things off balance. So I do feel like there's going to be something that they're going to have to. Ten of Swords makes me think of some kind of treatment, some kind of surgery, some kind of maybe like testing that comes from surgery, like a biopsy or something like that. But more than that, like we need to look into something further. And then when we look into it further, there's a solution. Again, that throws things off balance. I guess I'll say it feels like it's going to get a bit worse before it ends up getting better, but it does feel like it's going to run its course to some degree, if that makes sense. Like to the solution, run the course to the solution. New member, thank you. I don't know why I grabbed this one, but let's see. Third eye chakra. What do we need to know about your third eye? If there's something you want to work on gift-wise, skill-wise, creativity-wise, just give yourself the space to do so. The reason that you're not making progress is because there's some bit of holding back, or there's progress to be made if you desire to seek it. Will we ever get a larger RV to live in? We ever get a larger RV to live in? I feel like something needs to change for that to happen. Not that it's not possible, but I feel like maybe starting to save now, starting to cut expenses that aren't necessary now, maybe starting to look into how to consolidate different debts if possible. Cutting things now will help you get there, but it doesn't look like that's the trajectory yet. Any messages for me this month and a token? No, and it just like jumped up when I put the card down. Commit to stepping out of your comfort zone when it comes to not wanting to do something that just doesn't feel in alignment. No is a complete sentence. New member, thank you. I don't know why I grabbed this one again. Let's see. I keep meaning to grab the other one. Lack of agency wound, difficulty making decisions and asserting needs. Get clarity on speaking your mind. I feel like this is a green light for you. You've been considering either saying something, having some kind of conversation, speaking some kind of plans into action. Whatever this is a green light. It's almost like you didn't have the agency, so to speak, to make that decision unless your spirit team kind of kicked you in the butt about it a bit. What is S's current energy towards me? Hyper aware of some kind of disconnection. But I feel like they feel like it's their fault. There's a disconnection that I feel is my fault, or there's a disconnection that I feel like I'm not taking action to fix yet. Page of Cups in reverse. Almost like not knowing how to handle the emotions attached to that coming forward. Message for the month of June. What lies ahead? This kind of almost translates to me like hermit mode. Like you're going on this path of detaching from everything that is not like a heck yes. So trust those gut feelings when it feels like it's not secure in your trajectory forward. This is the month of detachment, I guess I'd say. Is now the time for mom to start her own business? Now the time for mom to start her own business. There's lack of clarity on something. Branding, maybe like the actual cost of getting everything up and running. Maybe like the cost of once everything's up and running, the next wave of costs and how soon that would come. It feels like there's lack of planning for some element that could serve to throw things off balance. So now could be the time, but it feels like there's something that clarity is needed on so that you're not fighting against yourself here in some way. Message from my mother who passed 4 years ago. Message from your mother who passed 4 years ago. Let It Go is on the balloon. Don't Blink by Kenny Chesney. There's something you need to let go of because it's been weighing you down for too long. So the moon in reverse is very similar to the sun, right? So it's like needing to really, it's like there's this hamster wheel of thought that kind of keeps pulling you back every time you have a good memory. It's like good memory, and then boom, I'm hit with this like shoulda, coulda, woulda, or something I didn't say. And that's what the message of Let It Go has to do with, so that you can move forward. So it's almost like if there's a message to you from you to your mother, it's almost like the message here is, I hear it, I know, like it I'm holding space for that. Come on. Will I successfully pass my exam on Wednesday? Will I successfully pass my exam on Wednesday? Yes, but don't rush. Yes, so long as you take your time. Like whatever amount of time they give you, plan on being there that entire time. Just allow yourself to not go over everything multiple times, but sit with it, feel it, and don't be feeling like you have to go quick to show that you know what you're talking about. Speed doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. Taking your time with it shows that you're confident in it, I guess is how I would say that. What is the reason I have not been able to lose weight? Will I be able to now? What can help? You're delaying committing to some kind of routine change. Whether this is cutting something out completely, whether this is addressing maybe like why there's binge eating, for example, or whatever it is that is presenting as a surface level issue, there's a need to look deeper. Like, what is the trigger of this? It feels like once you get to that, then it's easier to change the routine, and then it's easier to lose the weight. Not easier, but like more flowy. Messages from spiritual team with a token. It's a dove, like peace. Oh, huh, same. I feel like there's a need right now to get back to like the vision board. It's like you have all the pieces, but they're not connecting. Like, you know what you want, you know what you want to experience, maybe you know what changes you need to make, but if you connect them, it actually starts to happen. I feel like there's a need to get back to the vision board and give yourself some kind of hope again. Like, I'm doing all this for some kind of end goal. Maybe not end goal, but like next goal or big goal. Is the piece of mail I'm getting today good news or bad news? What's the energy behind the piece of mail? Is it possible for it to be a non-answer? Like, not necessarily good, not necessarily bad, but like a delay of a delay of final answer because more of something is needed. If that is not the case, then good or bad. If it's not possible that it's neither of these and like it's a delay of something, delay. Feels like it almost like an unexpected middle ground. Like more info is needed, or like it's a non-answer or something like that. How are you going to feel after it? Like, I just need to get this and then we're good. I just need to get the, okay, there's a way to wrap this up, if that makes sense. Would Boomer, my dog, not get up on the bed last night because of his hips hurting? Yeah, that's what's causing me to fight action. Four of Cups in reverse. Something recently caused it to spark up again. Something recently caused a lack of mobility to spark up again. Or like a lessening in mobility. Should I address the elephant in the room with A? Should I address the elephant? Release what and commit to what? Release and commit to. I almost feel like maybe you are misreading a fear of confrontation or avoidance of confrontation. You may be misreading that as your intuition telling you not to. So I feel like if it's something that persistently keeps coming to the surface, I feel like it's time to action that and know that sometimes we misread something at like fear presenting as intuition. You may not want to have the conversation because of like an underlying fear of hurting the person's feelings or something like that. And you may be being like, okay, that's my intuition telling me not to. I don't feel like it's your intuition. I feel like you're meant to go forward. Will my wellness center become a reality? Yes, as long as you connect to confidence. I feel like you need to fully commit to it. Not that maybe mentally you have, maybe emotionally you have, but like action steps. Queen of Wands would be more action oriented. There's actions missing that need to happen to get this to go. But this is potential for that to really come to fruition if you make the choices now to get there. Any messages for my new workshop idea? Communication is a school wellness issue. Oh, I like that. Communication is a school wellness issue. I mean, it's something that the world needs. Work on the business model of it. I feel like you're working on like the structuralization part of it, but work on it more as like a business model and then create the structure from that, or start to put the structure you already have into a business model, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a translation missing of the money making element versus the content element. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. Message for the week and a song. Ride by 21 Pilots. Taking action towards independence because you need to rebalance. I feel like this week it's time to detach from something that has been kind of dragging you backwards for the last couple weeks. It's time to find a different way to take action forward and detach from whatever that energy is. Messages from Sherry. Messages from Sherry. I didn't realize until it was too late that love mattered more than pride. Action, protection, lack of nurturing. I almost feel like this is an apology. Like I didn't know how to say this before, but I want to take action in the opposite direction of my pride. Feels like symbolic apology. A Sandcastle with 7 Years by Lucas Graham is on the bottom. Messages from my spirit guides and a token. A bursting star right above the Ace of Cups. There's something you thought about taking action on and you didn't, but it's like you get more out of that than you're anticipating getting out of it. So there's a need to readdress it. 19. It's like 5. This would be within the last 5 months. It feels like this came as an idea and you released it and you're meant to cycle back to it. I lost my place. 1 second. Will R be induced early? Will R be induced early? No, I don't feel like induced early. Maybe told to like be in bed. 5 of Cups in reverse, like we got to keep an eye on this. So maybe bedridden early until induction and maybe like 2-day wiggle room, but I don't see any like significant earlier with the Fool in reverse. Message from Jeff. Message from Jeff. You've made it further than you think because you've learned how to keep going even in uncertainty. You need to find a way to allow yourself to be supported by others instead of just always being the one supporting others. Almost like needing to get in receive mode so that you can receive something greater, but you're in give mode. And I feel like almost Jeff is saying, look at why that is. Why is it that you avoid receiving? Why is it that you're uncomfortable receiving? Do you feel worthy of it? Where's the avoidance coming from? Look at it a little deeper because you've survived this much. This is nothing you can't handle to face whatever that would be. I felt a new presence, spirit around me. Who is it? Are they good? Oh, family. Yes, good. Some kind of family. Why are they coming now? Because sometimes we are our own worst enemy, and it feels like this is someone who knows that you are in need of nurturing because you may not be doing it to yourself right now in some ways. So this is a family member or ancestor. Feels more like, I mean, obviously family member could also be ancestor, but I'm saying like more recent than what you would think ancestor. Like a couple generations, like grandparent-ish age feels to be coming through. Message from higher self. Should I go to Dubai? Should you go to Dubai? I feel like it's going to be a good way for you to disconnect and get back to like the simplicity of things. I almost feel like you're trying to find a way to declutter your life, and this is like a hard reset on that, if that makes sense. Like when you come back, you'll be forever changed type of thing in regard to that declutterization hard reset. So if that's what you were trying to get out of it, or if what I just said is like, oh yeah, that's what I need, then yes. If that's not what you need right now, then maybe the timing is to wait for when you feel like that and then go. Because I'm sure that that's probably not a cheap experience. So do it when that's most aligned, essentially. Message from my spirit team for June. Sometimes it comes up because we need to face it, and sometimes it comes up because we need to release it. It feels like this time something comes up so that you can release it, and it comes up in a way that's like old thoughts resurfacing, and you're meant to just be like, no, that's not my thoughts, and that's it, and just let it go. Almost like the final test before a major release of some kind is how that feels. How did CS feel about hearing from me? How did CS? Unsure of the intentions. Yours or their own? Either this person thought that maybe if this person wouldn't have thought that maybe you're checking on them for another individual, then this person was really questioning why now, or what are the circumstances, or what's almost like the Seven of Swords kind of makes me feel like, oh, I don't really feel like I deserve you to be reaching out to me. So what are you getting out of it type of thing? Because it's got to be something. You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy. Is the vet specialist correct with dog treatment? I feel like there's something they're not considering. So like they got some of it, but like there may be an additional something else. 6 of Wands reverse makes me think like they failed to look deeper, or maybe that's like they needed to do one more test thinking out of the box or something to get an additional. It feels like you're not all the way in the clear yet, but you're on the way. So yes, they're right, but they may be missing something, or there may be something that causes a side effect that then there's like a treatment for. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like you get one issue cleared and then there's another little speed bump to go over. And maybe it's that they can't see that yet. I don't know. But it feels like yes and no. Like 9 of Swords in reverse, I feel like you don't have anything to worry about per se, but not all the way in the clear yet, if that makes sense. Message for love. Message for love. When you feel like you're hearing what is not being said, trust yourself to take action on that. It's going to be something that's like, okay, that person's avoiding talking about that, or that subject is being heavily avoided. I think I should blank because of that. Trust that action that you feel called to take. Is my friendship affected with T? Let's do how has your friendship with T has recently changed, if anything. Not sure what action to take because what? It almost feels like in some way T was kind of triggered, I guess, in a way that they're like, okay, I don't know how to handle this going forward. So is my friendship affected? It feels like in some way, yes, but it doesn't feel like the effect has taken place yet. It's like they're still not sure what to do about it, but there's some realization of like, I don't know what to do here. Kind of feels like they feel out of their comfort zone in some way. Message for the week and a token. Oh, it's a moon. I was looking at it the wrong way. A moon that doesn't appear to look like a moon when it's upside down for some reason. It feels like there's an area of your life that is stagnant, like, and has been for some time, and it almost is needing a different approach entirely, both emotionally and logically. Change the way that you think about it, and the actions that you take will change according to it, because it feels like you've been in the dark in this area for some time, almost to the point where you're not even recognizing that that area is still stagnant. So look at the goals that you had 6 months to a year ago and figure out which ones have made no progress. That's where you need to be looking right now, because there's a change you can make, essentially, that you're not seeing because you're not looking at it. General message from Paul for my sister. Paul, I just saw happy birthday. It didn't come out, but I'm wondering if there's like an important birthday missed, or it was just a birthday, or there's a birthday in autumn maybe. This is the time to close a chapter that's been lingering. This is a time to close a chapter that's been lingering. Whatever it is that she's worried about facing, your sister, it's like, it's kind of giving always darkest before the dawn, right? It's like that pressure of I don't know what's next, and not knowing what's next kind of pushes me to take any kind of action, and that shows me what's next. So the message from him is just take the first step. You just need to take the first step. If I Didn't Have You by Thompson Square, and also lean on you, like for your sister to lean on you in taking the next step. When will I become healthy again after long COVID? When will I become healthy again after long COVID? I feel like there's a change needed that hasn't taken place yet, or a decision needing to be made that hasn't been made yet. And it feels like that eases up symptoms that are still very persistent. I don't know what kind of alternative treatment is available for that. And I'm sure that you're saying long COVID, so I'm sure you've already looked into that. I guess I'd say keep considering out of the box things that could help to alleviate the symptoms. It's almost like you just need to get the momentum going, and then you can continue to push at it. But there's some kind of change or choice that's still needed to kind of shift it, it feels. Oh, perfect timing. I love that. You just started doing that. Would like to hear from my daughter, Lacey. Like to hear from my daughter, Lacey. Sword from the Stone, maybe a Bible reference with that, pulling the sword from the stone. The thing I wish I had done differently is worried less about things that didn't matter. Worried less about things that didn't matter. 10 of Swords is a painful ending. Page of Cups in reverse would be her. I feel like there's this reference to like maybe some kind of stressor, maybe some kind of, this kind of almost reads like a little bit of like, I'm sorry that something was so hard to deal with, or I'm sorry that something maybe came on so quickly or so strongly. It feels like emotions though, and it feels like there's this like extension of I wish I had handled something differently, or I wish I had shown you more how much I valued some kind of help or assistance around this painful ending. Oh, the I love you card with one call away. I feel like you were also maybe a little worried that maybe she'd be shy of speaking in this way, or like wouldn't show up in a way that you would understand, if that makes sense. There's a kite. And number 31. A couple weeks ago, I was walking out to bring my garage cans up. I felt like someone was watching me. It was almost dark. I looked up and there was an owl sitting there looking down. What's the significance of that? Symbolic at that time. Oh, interesting. I kind of changed it. Almost like you're being guided towards a certain decision that you maybe have been stalling on. You're going to start to see synchronicities leading you in the direction of what decision that is best for you to make. What is happening lately? Delayed grieving for my mom, brought it on by my uncle's death. Yeah, they're connected. Because there's part of the grieving that almost like there's some things that your mom's death brought up that you had to push back down because you had to, like, you know, survive. You had to keep going. So after a certain amount of time of that grieving, you were like, okay, I need to put this down. I need to keep going. I need to just kind of detach. And this is bringing judgment in reverse is lack of finality. So it wasn't all the way done being looked at the first time. So it's coming back so that it's not like a ticking time bomb. So sit with it. Don't push it back down, knowing that it'll just come back up again. I would say do a lot of writing. Just journaling right now is kind of your key out of the mental hamster wheel. Any message from my spirit guides? Message from my spirit guides. You feel like your spirit guides are far away right now, but they're not. They're allowing you space to feel without feeling like you need to explain your feelings. When you feel like you've stopped explaining the right to feel your feelings to yourself, you'll start to feel your spirit guides more closely again in terms of like directional. So I guess I'd say be mindful right now of how much you may be intellectualizing your emotions and allow logic to get out of the way. Don't try and make excuses for feeling, if that makes sense. A message from my guides about my current situation. It's a big one. You know what you need to detach from, or you know that the decision that you need to make is one that you can't take other people, like people who don't have to deal with the consequences of your choices should not be considered in making this choice. I feel like the answer is the option that's most different than the one that you're experiencing right now, the one that kind of feels most out of your comfort zone. It kind of feels, I almost want to say, like you owe it to yourself to take the option that feels most out of your comfort zone, or the path, maybe not option, but path. In what ways is your past life affecting you in this lifetime, if any? Commitment. Commitment to freedom or commitment to exploration. Past life in this life. Belief systems. Allow yourself to kind of explore different and or challenge some of your own belief systems, not in a way that's like scolding or shaming or like you're wrong or you're right, but maybe just there's some kind of expansion that feels like it could be more rippled outward. Like you can learn more about your own belief systems by exploring belief systems that are clearly in misalignment with you. You're like, okay, that strengthens my belief system. It just feels like there may be something like that you're limiting yourself on because there's this underlying like, oh, it's wrong to question it or something along those lines. So I guess I'd say expansion of thought as it pertains to belief system. Don't limit it because you feel like it's wrong to. I feel like the older I get, the more I sense spirits and then speaking to me. Is this true? What is going on that you are sensing them more? I mean, this would be kind of a specific family or ancestor member that is kind of guiding you more so as you're more ready for it. So as you heal, as you shift perspective, as you get more comfortable with it, it's like there's almost someone walking alongside you that you can trust. That's like, okay, you faced that shadow. You're ready for this perspective shift, realization, something along those lines. So it feels like you're being guided by someone who definitely has your best interest in mind and is giving you what you're ready for. As you complete a step, the next one is revealed to you by family or someone maybe that was like family. I'd be interested to know if someone passed away recently around the time that this started happening. Maybe not recently, but like recently-ish. Message from my guides and a token. It's a house number 23. House number 23. There's more planning needed before the action stage of some kind of not literal move. It feels like before you can spring clean, you need to make sure you have all the tools to do so. It kind of feels like there's something being missed in a change you want to make. Back to the drawing board will show you why the plans are delayed. Getting back to the drawing board can show you how the plans have been delayed or why. It's like when you shift one thing into place, it makes sense to move forward. How will I meet my future husband? How will I meet my future husband? Kind of feels like through another person, but not set up in a way that's like a blind date. This is like we're both handed an invitation to be at the same place at the same time type of thing, where it's a place where we both feel comfortable. So maybe like a birthday party, a wedding, some kind of retirement party of someone, something along those lines. But it feels like neither of you would be the guest of honor. Like you'd be attendees to it. I would love to know where to put my focus for this month. Healing in action. A list of what your goals are and what actions need to be taken. I feel like your goals right now have a lot to do with Two of Cups. It's like getting back to the not minimalistic, but like the simplicity of life. Like you're trying to shed what's not necessary. So this month, focus on what actions you can take to do that. Will I date Alexander? Will I date Alexander? I feel like as long as you allow it to unfold naturally, Five of Pentacles in reverse kind of reads to me like he may spook easily. Like if things move too fast, I get afraid of my emotions and I dart the other way. If that doesn't happen, then it can go somewhere. The future potential of my blueprint-based healing system. I feel like you have the foundation of something. You just need to continue to build. Maybe a little bit higher perspective on something that some people may have a learning curve on that you may not yet be considering. It's kind of giving one section or something that's like, explain it to me like I'm 5 type of thing. Maybe one little bit level down simplification, or like an additional, like if you didn't understand it this way, let me show it to you this way type of thing in one area of this. Would moving to Florida be a good thing for me? Yes. Any caveats? Not going. I feel like until you do, you're going to keep questioning, what if I do? What if I will? I feel like there's like a, I don't know, like this persistent nagging calling about this. So I feel like if everything aligns, I would go for it. The vet says her ear issue is coming from allergies. Her allergies were horrible, so maybe part, but didn't consider groomer injury, which caused it. Oh, okay. What did I say? One thing, but not considering another. She's on meds until next appointment in 2 weeks. What will happen? Okay, that makes sense. So ear issue from allergies, but didn't consider groomer injury. What will happen? It's like fixing one thing and not the other. One thing ends up, it just feels like, you know how like after you take care of one thing, then you can see, okay, there's also this issue. It feels like that. So you're getting to the deeper issue is, I guess, how I would word that. But I don't feel like you're going to be all the way in the clear yet. There's going to be additional action needed because something reaching conclusion. So like this medicine did all it could do. It's not meant to fix this problem. So now this problem needs to be looked into, if that makes sense. One second, I need water. Okay. What do I need to know for the big life changes ahead? Keep giving yourself a new goal as you meet them. It feels like there's so much that you could get stuck in like analysis paralysis, where you have so many options or so many different paths or so many different choices that you're a little overwhelmed and can't make any. So I would say just be very organized with choices and don't allow yourself to get into that place of analysis paralysis, because it feels like the only thing that can kind of stand in your own way is overwhelm. So just be mindful of that. Why did Marriott lie about my positive results of test experiment? Releasing to make me feel better about myself. Did you do something that this person feels like they themselves couldn't have done? Or is whatever this test is something that this person would be a little bit of envious towards? This is like, what's good for you doesn't feel good for me for some reason. Does my daughter really want to see, or is this a setup because of time and place? Does my daughter really want to see, or is it a setup? Can it be both, but not set up in the way you think? Like I want to see you, but also I'm trying to prove something, or I'm trying to get data points about something, like information points of some kind. I would say take your time with not getting too ahead of yourself, like expectation wise. Don't allow yourself to get too ahead of yourself expectation wise. It feels like you're protected. It's not like a setup, but don't allow your expectations to get ahead of you, if that makes sense. My youngest son will be starting a new job. Will this job work out for him? Yes, but I feel like he eventually goes somewhere else, but it's going to be his decision to do so. So, like, he's going to start this, get experience, be like, oh, I want that goal now, and then go get that. So, it doesn't feel like it's a forever thing, but it feels like it's something that's a necessary building block. But it doesn't feel like he knows what the next thing is yet. Like, this connects him to that. He needs to be here to get that, if that makes sense. Message from my mom. Message from my mom. If you follow the signs, you'll notice love always finds a way to leave clues. She may have been leaving you feathers, or maybe is going to leave you feathers. When you see a feather out of place, go to a playlist that's about her and shuffle to the second song. It feels like you're not giving yourself enough credit here. And that's the message. And it's almost like she's like, you can feel me more when you're not being so hard on yourself. It feels like your mind is your own worst enemy right now. And when you turn that down, you'll see that your emotions are trying to teach you something. This is the sign you're waiting for. And See You Again by Wiz Khalifa. This is the sign you're waiting for. I feel like that was most of the message. But you need to kind of not allow yourself to get trapped in anxiety about what that means, that's the sign, right? That's the sign. It doesn't mean everything needs to happen tomorrow. It just means now I know green light, now I can start to go. If that makes sense. Is my friend T avoiding me for a reason, or is he just not that interested? My friend T avoiding me for a reason. I feel like there's a little bit of a reason. It's like, I don't want to give off the wrong idea. I want to kind of take things slow. I want to kind of keep you at arm's reach type of thing. Because I value your opinion. I don't want you to look at me like I'm not a good person or that I'm playing games or something like that. So it kind of feels like that's why. It's like keeping you at arm's length because of that. You said it might be a family member. It did start around the time my Nana and Papa passed away. I can't pinpoint who. Can't pinpoint who. Papa. Ace of Swords is my Archangel Michael card. I mean, both, but more so him is how that feels. Especially now I'm realizing female in reverse. This is my Archangel Michael, so male. You know, both, but mainly him. What's a sign from him? There's an alarm clock and there's a bowling ball that also fell out with number 888. I mean, like, we're talking about time. It started around the time that your Papa passed away, right? So you're saying around the time Nana and Papa, it feels like it really kicked into effect when Papa passed away. So if he was first, then it started since then. If she was first, then it's almost like she was waiting for him to communicate more efficiently or something like that, in more ways that you'd understand. One of them talk with their hands a lot too, I feel like. Anything I need to know about this week? And In My Arms was playing, and it keeps saying, couldn't love you more, couldn't love you more, with Mama 3's message. There's a need to be in observer mode because it feels like there's a solution that you won't see if you're too in the emotions of something. Allow yourself to kind of be a fly on the wall. When you feel a sense of overwhelm or you feel a sense of pressure, switch to observer mode. How am I feeling? Why am I feeling that way? What is triggering this? How can I still make a logical decision, not one based off of emotions? Ace of Swords on the bottom, which is clarity. Oh, yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you. I do also, that just reminded me, have Sacred Woundings 1 back in stock now. It comes in a box now to match the other one. And the cards are the same thickness as the other ones now. They're like kind of twins. All right, where was I? Come on. New member, thank you. Situations that were sent to destroy you or make you lose your mind didn't even touch your soul. There's a need to forgive yourself for not making a choice that you didn't have the information to make until after you made the choice. It feels like this was some time ago. Self-forgiveness for a lesson you couldn't have known until you completed the lesson. Now you would never have to repeat it because of discernment. But because you would never have to repeat that lesson now you're like, well, why didn't I know back then? Well, you didn't have the discernment back then. So forgive yourself for not having it back then. You needed the lesson to have the discernment. I'm going to close the super chats in 1 second as well. Actually, let me do that now. 1 second. Okay. Because I have to hop off shortly. My birthday is this month. Any messages for me? Happy birthday. Gift yourself some kind of creative experience that you typically wouldn't. Grab an art set and do some painting 1 day a week this month. Give yourself some kind of creative outlet. It will go further than you think you will, even if it feels like you don't have the time for it. Will I be able to convince CS to hang out with me while I'm in New Jersey? No, it feels like plans fall through. Almost like we make plans and then last minute I'm like, okay, something came up. Or I'm like, okay, let's make tentative plans and we'll see what happens. And then they end up falling through. There's some kind of delay. It's almost like maybe next time. Okay, I'm good. I'm glad that makes sense. Okay, yeah, because it feels like those two are connected, but it's like you got to clear the top to see the bottom, like an iceberg. Like you're getting the tip of the iceberg. Now you have to look underneath, type of thing. Why does ES break up with AW? Wanting different things, or at least the perception of wanting different things. Message from my dad. Message from my dad. We have the Let It Go card. There's something you need to let go of because I never wanted you to suffer on my behalf. It feels like a lack of closure of something. It's almost like if I could only have this one more conversation, I could clear this up and then I could put down this burden. And he's like, no, just put down the burden. They're like, the conversation isn't needed, or there's some bit of like whatever it is that you feel like you're lacking closure for, there's a need to let it go. There's a need to put it down. It's not yours to carry. Don't Blink by Kenny Chesney. Life is too short to carry it any longer. Can I make a living selling my art? Can I make a living selling my art? I feel like not at this point. Why? You're holding back so far. So I guess this is like needing to commit. If that's what you want to do, it's going to be something that requires you to go all in. Like that's your focus. That's where your energy is going. That's where all of your free time's going. That's where you're listening to audiobooks when you're going to and fro so you can learn more about techniques and all that. If you want to do that, you have to go all in, is how it feels. Love a message from my mom. Oh, that one came right out. I was wrong about the things I feared. None of them mattered in the end. You're being guided to shift gears. What you want requires you to disconnect from the emotions you feel about what? Almost like you feel like something's too much of a good thing and it's preventing you from making some kind of change that would align you with that goal. Almost like a fear of success in some ways. I guess I would say the things I feared, none of them mattered in the end. Shift gears. If there's something that just persistently keeps popping up that's like, go towards this, she's another push in the direction to go towards it. I'm sorry, and I just called to say I love you is on the back of the card. Is my granddaughter's baby boy okay in utero and healthy? Can we know about baby boy? So Wheel of Fortune, I said, what could be that Wheel of Fortune in reverse? Like, in what way? Eight of Pentacles, to me, it's like there may be a little bit of a smaller side baby, but it doesn't feel like that's an issue. So if anything, maybe just a little on the small side, but it doesn't feel like that's causing any health or otherwise issues for the baby. So I would say yes, healthy, maybe just a little small. Or if not small, maybe comes a little late. So maybe is a little bit too comfortable, doesn't want to come out when it's time. Will my boyfriend and I have the money to buy a new car by the end of summer? By the end of summer. Yes, but don't do it till you have one extra month saved. Like, I feel like you're probably saving extra months of it now, like extra months of the payment now. Give yourself one extra. Even if it means you got to wait like another month or so. Save up one extra. Have one more cushion month in savings for it just in case. I feel like you will, but if you add in that cushion, it may push you a little beyond that. But I feel like the cushion's important. "25 years I hum incessantly. Some few unknown bars. Doctor doesn't know why. I'm frequently asked to stop. I have to think about not to. Bothers me as well. Headaches and sore throats. What is causing the humming?" Your brain's natural desire to fill the empty space. It feels like something that just has been passed on. So if it's your brain's desire to fill empty space, I don't want to say think about things because that's going to cause you to overthink. I'm wondering if you can translate that to some kind of like self-tapping technique. If your brain is trying to fill empty space, maybe if you like do tapping on the leg or tapping of the toes, I'm sure maybe you've tried this, but maybe if you consciously try to train your brain to do that for a month or two, maybe that'll help to either lessen it or stop it. It just feels like, I don't know how else to word it, your brain trying to fill the empty space. And then I guess you could also go into the deeper meaning. Is there an emotional reason that your brain is trying to not find comfort in the empty space, if that makes sense? Message for the week. Message for the week. Even if it's uncomfortable, sit with it. Especially if it's uncomfortable, sit with it. It's meant to kind of guide you or teach you something. Why? It's like you're being shown the weight of releasing something so that you can know what happens, so you can see how much you were holding. Like if you're sitting there in it and you feel it and then you release it, you can recognize, oh, wow, I understand how that could have been heavily impacting me because that was heavy to release. It's like you need to see something, some pain needs to be witnessed in order to be released. And it feels like it's that, witnessing it for yourself. I almost feel like this is symbolic of like a cleanse, like a maybe physical cleanse, like house environment, emotional cleanse, let yourself cry, verbal cleanse, let yourself talk it out, intellectual, let yourself write it down, something along those lines. What can help me create the best version of ERH modality? Is D going to help me with it? What can help you create the best version? Channeling it, like allowing yourself to kind of clear your mind and just kind of see what comes through, maybe listen to some kind of subliminals or something like that. It's almost like there's information that can be channeled that will help you increase the way this can be received in a way that you haven't tried yet. So I guess maybe this is like almost like putting yourself into like an energetic, getting your logic out of the way and channeling intuitively what your higher self wants to hand to you in a way you haven't tried yet. All right, I'm going to do one more and then I have to hop off. Message from my guides or Grandma Marie. Let's see what Grandma has to say. Grandma's coming through as the Queen of Swords. The wisdom I want to pass down is your story isn't over yet. So Grandma coming through as the Queen of Swords, she's like the knowledge that you need to use to get out of or through whatever you're currently facing comes from me. So think of, how would Grandma Marie handle this? What logic would Grandma Marie unpack this with? Even if you don't know for sure, just think of her general energy and then kind of go from there. It's almost like she wants to pass down to you the key to unlock whatever stagnancy you're facing. Stagnancy, not moving forward. Freedom, move forward. What's the key from Grandma Marie? What we do not change, we choose. That's the quote she wants you to take with you. What we do not change, we choose. All I Know So Far by Pink. Knowledge I want to pass down to you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here. I think there are a couple spots open on my Stan store. If anyone wants to grab them, they're probably going to be out a little bit later. I will post new ones if I have time by the end of the month. Thank you to my mods for being here, and thank you to everyone for being here. I'm going to try and do more subscribers lives going forward. I've just been really behind. Yeah, that's all. See y'all soon. Thank you.